Yeah.
So
there's like that meme where some really good-looking guy goes up and he's like, "Hey, Shelly, nice dress today." And she's like, "Oh,
right,
thanks, Giga Chat." And then some
exactly.
like fat guy walks up, he's like, "Nice dress, Shelly." And she's like, hello,
H
HR."
exactly, yeah, so
Yes.
no, that's a pinnacle example of the halo effect and what that looks
Huh.
like. So if you've gotta be this fat slob who's getting HR complaints for shit that you saw, another guy do 2 seconds ago, that's gotta be quite brutal,
Hmm.
you know? So, um
Okay, let me say it this way. I've talked about this before. It's like when people say about me or even about Hassan, it's like, yeah, well, you wouldn't even talk about politics. You wouldn't even have a career if not for the fact that you're stupid, sexy Hassan. If not for the fact that you're stupid, sexy Denims. And it's like, listen, man, yes, you do get a buff for being perceived as attractive in the modern world. Yes, there is privilege that comes with looking like the stereotypical attractive quality of today. The reality is that changes all the time and all of its nonsense, and our ideas of attractiveness are always changing. I've talked about this before with regard to like foreheads. You guys have to understand, I was very, 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 very woke. I was very woke, chat. I was woker than woke. And let me tell you, beauty standards are fake. Beauty standards are literally fake. Okay, we made them up. I'm sorry to tell you this. What you feel strongly about on what you think looks good or looks bad, it's actually fake. Part of it is marketing, yeah. Part of it is just social, like training. Part of it is cultural. But the reality is, it's fake. And there are a lot of people that think like, no, I think this looks good for a genetic, for a biological reason. Okay. There's like, I hate these dudes. They're like the dudes that are like, no, men like big boobs and a big ass because it means that you're child rearing and it means that you can breastfeed and it means that you're good at that. It's like, first and foremost, okay? Ability to breastfeed does not equal. There's no, the correlation is fuzzy with regard to size of boobs. And anyone here who's an adult who's spoken to women who've had children, you will know there are lots of women with huge boobs that cannot breastfeed or they cannot provide, their body can't produce, their mammaries can't produce enough milk because milk is not stored in the size of the boob, okay? And there are lots of women with like A, B cups and they can pump for fucking days, all right? So first and foremost, let's just get that out of the way. Argument, debunk, destroyed. Second, if your beauty standard hinges on small waist, big ass for fertility, having a small waist doesn't increase fertility. That's just your personal preference and you're pretending like you are biologically incentivized to liking this when in reality, that makes no fucking sense at all. If anything, having a higher body fat percentage, especially around here, will keep your uterus safe. So this thing that you don't like, that you've decided you're going to make up the reason why you like it, it's nonsense. Biggest evidence I can show you of the fact that beauty standards are fake, that beauty standards are always changing, that the things that we like are always changing, that the things that we like are usually just tied to wealth and status. And we often assume the wealthy and the statusful people in society have all of the positive qualities that we must obtain, right? That's why being fat or like being, I'm going to say it, being fat for a very long time was attractive and being thin was like you're a laborer. You can't afford food. You are a serf. Who would want to be with a fellow serf? We want to marry up in the hierarchy, in the financial hierarchy. Whereas if you're fat, you are sitting on all of the peasants' wheat. You have so much, you have oodles and oodles of food. And that's why when you look at paintings, classical paintings of women, they're all of fat women. They're all of women with a bunch of rolls on them. Why? Because that was associated with, wealth. And wealth is usually associated with attractiveness and whatever. Another big one, this is the big one, forehead plucking. There's a period of time, especially in Northern Europe, where a lot of paintings just had these women with giant foreheads. Dare I say, 5 heads. And it's like, why the hell are you painting all these bald ass women? These women are balding, bro. Get these women some minoxidil. These women are fucking balding. Why are you painting them bald? And do you want to know why they were all so fucking bald? Because they were plucking their forehead. The way that you pluck like a unibrow, they were plucking their hairline back because a big head was seen as being intelligent. So it's like, look, I would make a great wife and mother to your children. As you can see, my head is quite large and filled with secrets. Because I plucked it. Because I fucking plucked it that way. What's with the white paste that they would put on their face? That stuff made their skin. I don't know more. I don't know anything about that. And there are some things that like generally we haven't liked across, you know, all of civilization. Like anything that might remind someone or might make someone concerned that you have like leprosy or something. Or like smallpox. But that's one of the few things that's like deeply ingrained in us. That you see someone with like a bunch of pustules and you're like, so is that contagious? Or I just want to know. So that one's probably a little bit more, or like if you saw rot or something on someone, you'd be like, dude, do you know that your arm is falling off? I can see it rotting. Are you plague maxing? Dude, plague maxing is not good for you. I told you this. Anywho. Oh yeah, for a very long time as well. Have you ever thought about why David has such a small penis? Sorry if anyone in here is named David. I'm not talking about you. Or a lot of like Greco-Roman art. David by Michelangelo. Why a lot of them have small dicks. And it's not because grower versus shower. No. That's not why. It's because large dicks were seen as like brutish and intelligence is stored in the brain. And if your penis is too big, it's pulling the intelligence away. You're a savage beast if you have a huge dick. But the true intellect doesn't need a large penis. Intelligence is stored up here, not here. So anyways, thinking with the wrong head, classic. You get what I mean, dude. You get what I mean. Anyways, beauty standards are all fake. With all of that in mind, it doesn't hurt to adhere to, and now I don't want to get too deep into feminist theory, so we're just going to get on the most surface level. Because then we can talk about like inflation and how the new standard that everyone has to adhere to makes people who don't adhere to the standard worse off. But I don't want to get too deep into the sauce. But intelligence is stored in the balls. Exactly. But let me get these bald women off the screen. I like this bald lady. Let's keep her on. She's judging me, but in like a good way. What the fuck was I going to say? I was saying something. No, I was saying something important. It wasn't important, but it was important to me. There are a lot of benefits to fitting into the stereotypical attractive archetype of the modern day. Anyone who's experienced fat phobia and has lost weight, you will recognize very quickly how much nicer you are treated. No one knows this experience better than fat people who've lost weight. There is a clear, and it's just like, you get just like a natural buff everywhere in your life where everyone is just a little bit nicer to you. Just got here, Denims is explaining why small penises are desirable. Either I've lost my mind or you have. I swear I haven't. No, you just lost the context. Anyways, I was going to say something else. Wait, on that topic. You guys, I really do like, RimWorld is like the best example for like real life on a lot of things. Like, we really are all RimWorld pawns. More video game analogies, I know. But like in RimWorld, I was actually talking about this with some friends earlier the other day. There are status effects. There's pretty, there's beautiful, I think there's ugly, and there's hideous. And you will find that if you get pawns that are pretty, or you get pawns that are beautiful, everybody likes them. Everyone in your town just likes them. Whereas if you get ugly people in your town, everyone slowly starts to dislike them. This is for anyone who doesn't know about RimWorld. I'm getting somewhere with this. So as you can see, all beauty modifiers are cumulative, meaning a pawn with +1 beauty from the pretty trait and +1 beauty from aesthetic nose will have a total beauty of +2. Disfigurement adds -15. Opinion doesn't affect beauty stat of a pawn. Disables the positive effect of the beauty on the pawn. But here you can see beautiful, opinion change +40, pretty, opinion change +20, -1 for ugly, -2 for staggeringly ugly. Are we naturally wired this way? No, not. We're naturally wired to be social creatures, but beauty standards change, is the reality. So what is considered beautiful today is not going to be considered beautiful maybe in 100 years, and so on and so forth. Okay? And unfortunately, people's opinions of someone are impacted by, and maybe you're free. You are completely free of society's shackles. You have broken society's shackles on you. You are not impacted at all by attractiveness. I don't know what to tell you. The rest of the world is. The vast majority of the rest of the world is. You're learning this at what age? Huh? No, I'm telling everybody else about this. I learned this a while ago. I learned this many, many, many years ago. You just get a bonus. You just get a bonus. Now, unfortunately, like a RimWorld pawn, it doesn't matter how beautiful your RimWorld pawn is. If they're prone to arguing and prone to fighting, I forget the skill. I forget the talent, or not the talent, the modifier. It's like likes to fight or something like that. I don't remember the exact one. It doesn't matter. You get the personality debuff. It doesn't matter how pretty your pawn is. They're too annoying. Everybody hates them. Abrasive. If it doesn't matter that they have the pretty trait, they also have the abrasive trait and the brawler trait. So they're going to get into arguments with everyone and they're going to fight everyone. So it doesn't matter how pretty they are. They have this other debuff that's ruining their life. And in the same way, you can have neither pretty, beautiful, ugly, or staggeringly ugly. You can have none of these opinions. You can just be neutral. You don't have to have any of these buffs. But if your character is likable, they will easily make friends. It just makes life easier if you already have a good base. It's not going to make or break you. It just might make your life easier or more difficult. And personally, I like to min-max in life, okay? And I like to do things that make my life easier, personally. Just my humble opinion. And I try to make as much of my life as easy as possible. Have you seen The Substance? Great movie. Great movie. Why would you make life easier, lol? Because there's enough difficult shit in life. When I explain something to someone and then they reply, "You're just learning this now," is so triggering to me. I don't know why people say dumb shit like that. I don't know. I assume it just comes from a place of like wanting to feel more intelligent in that moment or something. I don't know. But anyways, I'm joking. Okay. What was I trying to say? So that's why you're beautiful. No, that's why I Looksmaxx. I just don't go as far as this fucking freak goes. I don't think you should fucking slam hammers into your face. That sounds stupid. And I think if you get obsessed with anything, your life is worsened. If you become hyper obsessed with anything, you miss out on a lot of other things in life. Like all of the chess grandmasters will never get deep. They will never develop a deep joy for baking because they've put all of their stat points. They dumped every stat point they had into chess. And I think if you have a good life of balance, it's like, I mean, like Tyler 1, it is a mystery that Tyler 1 exists has a life outside of League of Legends. That is a freak accident that never, he should not be counted and is an outlier. Anyways, all of that's to say, you get benefits from small things. And I like to min-max my life. That's why I'm like, yeah, I could spend hundreds of hours getting into makeup and buying a bunch of different makeup utensils and instruments. And I'm sure I could learn how to do makeup like crazy, but I'm a lazy person. So I'll just apply retinol right before I go to bed. I'll wash my face and apply retinol. And then that takes 5 minutes of my day every day. And then my skin looks nice. Excellent. And that's way easier than doing anything else. Like I believe in a life of min-maxing within reason. Retinol is fucking amazing. Retinol is amazing. Retinol is amazing. That's the only thing I do, and it was a game changer. I'm not going to lie, guys. Really, genuinely. If anyone here is not using retinol, you should use retinol. What retinol do you use? I stand by. You can only get it from a dermatologist, but I stand by this shit. Just make sure you wash your face with a cleanser, and make sure you apply any moisturizer afterward. But this shit is amazing. This is the best thing that will save your life and make your life better overnight. Well, it takes like about 2 weeks. It takes like 2 weeks to start like really kicking in. This. Go to your dermatologist, show them this picture. When should you start using retinol? I mean, at any time. I don't think maybe like before 18 you shouldn't. I don't know. If you're an adult, go for it. Just make sure to use it at night and always wear sunscreen in the morning. Always wear sunscreen in the morning. You don't want skin cancer. And you don't want your skin to burn. So you just wash your face, retinol, and then moisturize, correct. Is there an over-the-counter name? I do not recommend anything over-the-counter. All of the research on the over-the-counter products shows that they don't actually have the dosage that they say they have, if they even have it at all. There's a lot of but there's a lot of retinols on the market that are like, amazing retinol. And then they test the product. Third-party organizations test the product, and they're like, there was no retinol in this product. It's not a regulated... If it's not regulated, you don't know what you're getting. It's like buying supplements. It's like buying what Alex Jones sells and being like, no, this is going to fix me. It's like, but it's not regulated at all. It's literally not regulated. It's not regulated. You can't confirm what's in that because it's not regulated. But this shit's regulated. Literally, it took me one fucking e-visit. And I just asked for it and they gave it to me. Olay wouldn't lie to me. They would. And they have. I'm sorry. They would and they have. This shit is like This is like this is the easiest min-max of your life that you will ever, 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 ever get into. Do you think if you stopped using it, people would like you less though? No, I mean, everything is like an accumulation of stuff, right? You don't get good at something overnight because you're doing one thing right. Like chess grandmasters, it's not that they have good openings. It's not that they're good at end games. It's not that they have good tactics. It's that they have everything and everything compounds on itself. So even if you removed one thing, they'd still be really good, right? But this shit is like the easiest out of all the Looksmaxxing that I've tried. That is within reason. That is within reason. And every single person I've ever recommended it to told me that it changed their life completely, entirely, and that they wish they known about it earlier. What would a skin routine be for men that you recommend? This. I recommend this to everyone. Unless you have like rosacea or you have eczema or something. If you have like a normal skin type, this. Why sunscreen though? Because of skin cancer. And because you will get sunburn if you put this on at night and you don't wear sunscreen in the morning. This is the everyman item. This is viral marketing for skincare? No. This is viral marketing for other people who want to try. And if you're like, well, I'm going to lazy max. Okay, well, I'm not talking to you. Don't worry about it. You can keep lazy maxing. But this shit, nobody likes a baby face man. Wrong. Do you want me to show you how wrong you are and how hard you're coping right now? You want me to show you? Here's the thing. Even with doing absolutely nothing, you will naturally age. It's just a part of life. Just a part of life. There's nothing wrong with it. But let me just show you. Just ask any woman in your life. Any woman. Okay? Any single woman or married woman or any woman in your life. Which, I wish I had a better, 1 second. There might be a better photo. Wait, hold. You can't really find a really, really good one, so I'll just use this one. Ask any woman in your life which Leonardo DiCaprio she likes the most. Ask her if she liked Looking Up, Eyes Wide Shut, what was the movie that he did most recently about climate change? If she liked that Leo DiCaprio more, or if she liked Titanic Leo DiCaprio. And get back to me. Don't look up. And get back to me. And let me know what the women in your life say. All right? Let me know. Let me know which movie he looked the sexiest in. The answer, by the way, is the Titanic. That is the sexiest Leonardo DiCaprio's ever been in the Titanic. Sorry. I'm sorry. This is cope so that you can continue to be lazy. Just admit that you want to be lazy and you don't want to put effort in. Just admit it. Admit it, and that's okay. And then accept who you are. And everybody else who doesn't want to be lazy, this shit, sign yourself up. Sign yourself the fuck up for this. Also, I don't know about you guys. I just hate dealing with acne. I hate dealing with acne. I hate having it. I hate dealing with it. I've hated having it my whole life. And this shit will get rid of your acne. It also does a bunch of other stuff. Like it helps with wrinkles and it helps with like skin texture. And it helps with like, if your skin is like really like oily or whatever, it helps with a lot of things. But this stuff, it fixed all of my acne forever. Absolutely forever. This shit is the GOAT. It's the GOAT, sorry. This stiff says it's like 90 without insurance. It takes me like half a year to get through one of these tiny bottles because you only use like the smallest, you use less than you think you need to use. Less than a pea. So what is that? 90 divided by like 180? 50 cents a day to never ever have to deal with acne ever again. And also have all these other benefits over your whole face. I mean, yeah. How does it spread out that little amount? Well, you just do a little bit everywhere and then you just like really do your best. Good educational video on this.
I'll admit vitamin A is essential for skin, but by the time you finish watching this, retinol is going to look like an absolute pile of shit. And I cannot believe that no one else on...
I understand that it's a clickbaity beginning, but retinols over the counter are terrible. They're literally terrible. They don't have the amount that they say that they have. You have to get it from a doctor. Which is why I read the caption really quickly. Retinol is sold by lots of commercial brands because they can't legally sell you products which give you stronger products which are prescription only. You have to get a prescription.
YouTube,
but it takes like 5 seconds to get the prescription.
What I'm about to say. Understand this and you'll never waste money again. Retinol is a form of vitamin A that gets converted into different vitamin A derivatives in the skin, which then in turn get converted into retinoic acid. Now, retinoic acid then acts on retinoic acid receptors, which were discovered in 1988 or so in the nucleus of the skin cells next to the DNA, to then turn on genes like HOXB1, which is the biological point of rubbing it into yourself. Pause for a second and really understand what I've just said if you want to get past all the marketing skincare companies throw at you to charge you way too much money for way too little in return. Retinol is just a method of activating retinoic acid receptors. On a molecular level, activating this specific receptor is ultimately what gives you the skin you dream of. If you want the best skin you've ever had, understand what retinoic acid receptors are. Why the f haven't more people on YouTube spoken about this already? In other words, receptors that activate certain genes because of retinoic acid, which is the final thing that retinol is converted into once you use it. So therefore, if you use things on your skin which don't need to be converted, like retinol, and instead can naturally interact straight away with these receptors with no time-consuming conversion processes needed, you're going to notice much quicker improvements in your appearance, and that is what I'm about to show you. There's 3 types of RARs, alpha, beta, and gamma, and the most abundant one in the skin is gamma. So that's the only reason you're looking in the mirror, rubbing things like retinol into your face to activate this holy grail called RAR gamma. So to know for sure if your skincare is amazing or shit, you can ignore Reddit, you can completely f off dumbass journalists that think they're doctors because they wrote a crap article, and you can definitely slap people in the face that have no idea how retinol actually works, but still make a video about the top 5 retinols to buy. And you can do all that because when you're shopping, this is the only vitamin A question you'll ever need to ask. How good is it at activating RAR gamma? And here are some skincare products now that do it best and that skincare companies don't want you to know about. Tretinoin, adapalene, tazarotene, and trifarotene. These are all prescription only though, so you do need someone like myself with the link in the description below to give you a digital prescription.
You don't just look online. You don't need a digital prescription from a link.
So you can go and buy it. Tretinoin is probably the most common one that's used at the minute because it's just so widely available. It's also been around the longest. Adapalene is probably the 2nd most widely available and been around the 2nd longest, and it's also pretty good. Tazarotene is even newer than those 2.
Tazarotene is used, so these are the other thing, this video is okay. Tazarotene isn't used for the same things that retinol is used for.
And is relatively similar to adapalene in its efficacy according to a study in 2008, but it was also found to be slightly less tolerable, so it's not one that I generally start to recommend to my patients. Trifarotene is the newest one.
From my understanding, tazarotene gets prescribed predominantly if you have, like, for example, a lot of acne or, God forbid, chacne. It's really good for that because, again, your face is just really sensitive. I have never heard of
study in 2020 showed that it actually had 20 times more affinity for RAR gamma than alpha or beta. And the same study also found that it created more gene expression compared to tazarotene too. In fact, it's so strong that I think you can only buy
Anyways, the point is, yes, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say it, over-the-counter is never going to do anything remotely close to what this is going to do. This is like the one thing that I do shill. And I don't make any money off of it, by the way, just so you guys know. I don't have a fucking affiliate link. I don't make any money. I'm not paid by these people. I'm not paid by anyone. I'm paid by chat. And I'm just saying this because it changed my life and I wish other people had told me about it before then. And it's just dope. And I want to comment on this because I see this mindset a lot. And I think I finally found a way to maybe reach some people. I don't know. I think my skin is good enough. But then they like all the thing, I don't need any of this stuff for instead of liking me. IDK, I don't like the idea of pay me to fit the social norm, but maybe I have a bad view. Can I ask you a question? I'm not trying to flame you at all. Can I ask you a question? Do you have like a mechanical keyboard or maybe a 4K monitor or a 2K monitor, or maybe you have a really nice mouse? Do you have like a really nice like Razer mouse or like a really nice SteelSeries mouse or something? Do you have a really nice headset that you like? Do you have any of these things? Any or all of these things? Okay, but what kind of hammer do you recommend for face smashing? Do not face smash. Do not face smash. I want them to answer me. I really want them to answer me. I'm going to go with yes. I think if you're on Twitch, you probably have a mechanical keyboard. I think if you're on Twitch, you probably have a mouse that you like, a headset that you really like, or a keyboard that you really like. You probably have a mechanical keyboard. The reality is, if you put like a pro player, if you put someone from any game, any video game at all, pick a pro player from that video game, you could give them one of the gummy keyboards and they would still fucking roll your ass. They would absolutely fucking destroy you. And it kind of doesn't matter. I mean, there are people, aren't there like league players that have gotten to like Challenger with a fucking trackpad? I'm not mistaken, right? That's happened at least once before. The reality is you don't need this stuff. You can practice your mechanics Faker ones played on the smallest screen possible. You don't need a mechanical keyboard. You don't need a nice mouse. You don't need a nice monitor. You don't need a nice pair of headphones. You don't need any of this. You can be a great musician on awful hardware. You don't need like the nicest keyboard or the nicest violin to be a great musician. And someone who's a great musician or is a great gamer or whatever can do better than any of us can because they dedicate so much of their life to it with even dog shit hardware, with terrible hardware. Just like you don't technically need to shower. It just makes you more approachable if you don't smell like Asmongold. And I would say something like retinol is the same thing. You don't need to do any of this stuff. You don't need it. But wouldn't you want this thing that just makes this part of your life a little bit better or a little bit easier? Don't you want a mechanical keyboard because it's a little bit nicer? It's a little bit nicer to feel. Or maybe a nice mouse because it's easier to use, a mouse that actually fits your hand. Or maybe a really nice headset. You can hear everything a little bit better. Maybe you get 1 or 2 more kills or something. Maybe it's worth it for you. And it's the same thing with like skincare. And for me, it's about trade-off. Do I have 5 minutes in the day and maybe 50 cents a day to never have to deal with acne ever again for the rest of my life? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I spend so much time fucking around, laying down, chilling. I can wash my face at the end of a day, put on some retinol, put on a moisturizer, and then my life is just 1% easier. And then I just don't ever have to deal with X, Y, and Z thing. It's kind of how a lot of jobs prefer or require a college degree. You don't need one to do the job, but the fact that you have one, even in the wrong field, shows a degree of persistence and dedication, at least to employers, yes. So, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's my point, if that makes sense. Minus 5 minutes of staring at the wall time. Shut up. Shut up. I think a big part of it is like there's an initial disdain for the idea of putting in effort, especially I think a lot of, dare I say, men, dare I say the M word, because you've never done it before and there's no social expectation that you have to do it, but you will appreciate doing it. And shouldn't you try it first before you knock it? Maybe if you're one of those people that you never want to try anything ever, then this is just the norm for you. But if you're the type of person that like you go to get your friends get sushi and you're like, I've never had sushi, I'm down to try it. Hell yeah. Then try it, right? Try it. Try a skincare routine. If you have 5 minutes, if you don't have 5 minutes a day, you are the busiest man alive. First of all, how are you doing that while watching Twitch? That's crazy. But if you're not, isn't it worth trying? Denims, I took your advice on doing things now. That if they only take 5 minutes, it's good shit. I appreciate it. It's a better way to live. It's a better way to live. I guess I don't think I need it because I don't have acne. Yeah, but you might have things that you don't notice, like skin texture or whatever. Might not be perfect. And it feels, the thing is too, there's a lot of like, I think women get a lot of shit for having rituals or habits for the purpose of making you feel good, but they make you feel good. Putting time into yourself makes you feel good. You guys ever like clean your room and you feel like proud of yourself? You're like, dude, I fucking did it. Or like you finally go through the pile of like clothes and you're like, dude, I did it. Yes. It feels good. It feels good to do. And it's the same thing with skincare. It's like you spend 5 minutes and then you're like, I did it. I'm accomplished. Yes. I can feel good about that. Those, it really work. I'm assuming maybe you were on. I'm assuming you meant, does it really work? This, yes, it absolutely works. I would never, ever, ever, ever suggest something that doesn't work. Now, if you have rosacea or eczema or other skin conditions, I can't comment on that. But if you don't have any other prior skin conditions, this is like, you will enjoy it. And if you don't, why don't you try it for a month and get back to me and tell me if you hated it and it wasn't worth it at all for you. And that's it. That's the only thing I suggest. I also think people should in general, like you should try and get like 5-10 minutes of walking in a day. If you're feeling bold, lift some weights, mostly just for the dopamine release. And because again, you'll feel accomplished and cardio is good for you. It's good for your body. And those are the only 2 Looksmaxxing things that I suggest. Oh, and like finding clothes that fit you. But I feel like these all like, they feed into making you feel better about yourself. Because I'm not saying you have to be a certain weight or that you have to have a certain feature, that you have to look a certain way. But like, you should do these things that I know will make you feel more in control of yourself and feel good about yourself. Having clothes that you like, that fit you well, that's dope. Having skin that just makes you happy, it feels great. It literally feels great. It feels amazing. Can you recommend anything for eye bags? Caffeine is the only thing I've heard that's good. I think I have this old product before the boycott of like the Ordinary caffeine solution. Besides caffeine, They sell caffeine and you can put it. They're like hyaluronic acid is pretty good. And then just like moisturizing is the only other thing that I think you can do. Technically, Tret, you shouldn't apply it too close to your eyes because these products move. But Tret also works pretty well as well. And if you put it like here, it'll like move up. So those are the best things I can suggest. I've heard of people putting wet tea bags on their eyes. Yeah, I have heard about this. Yes. Vitamin C is also another good one. Don't put oranges on your skin for vitamin C. Do not do that. The acidic, it's too acidic. It's going to just burn your skin. Don't do that. But there are like vitamin C formulations that are pretty good. If you do get one of those, try and get one with ferulic acid because that makes because the problem with vitamin C is that your body struggles to absorb it. So a lot of vitamin C products don't work because your body actually isn't absorbing the vitamin C. So the solution is to buy one with some other activator that helps your body absorb the vitamin C. Ferulic acid is pretty good for that. And that's it. I don't know anything beyond that. I just moisturize. I have my vitamin C. I tried caffeine for a little bit. It was okay. And Tret. What do you recommend for oily forehead? You can't really change your skin type, unfortunately. But I will say personally, using Tret did make my skin overall a little bit less oily. I will say that. Yeah, I found out that I showed an ordinary cream and then people were like, it's part of the boycott. And I was like, well, and I still have this this caffeine bottle from like 3 years ago. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to throw it out. I'm not a conservative. But yeah, probably hydrating might also help with oiliness. I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. But anywho, did you say glytolic helps with vitamins? No, ferulic acid. I think I might be pronouncing it wrong. There's some good papers on how these interact really well together because the acid helps the vitamin C actually work, basically. There's a Skin Cuticles one that's really expensive that I don't buy, but there's a brandified copy of it that's pretty good as well. Or it's supposed to be exactly the same. But yeah. Here, let me see if I can find a good. I have this one. I've had it for over a year. It takes forever to get through these bottles, dude. That's the other thing. Skincare is really expensive up front, but then you realize you have like some of these products for forever and they just like don't empty anytime. Like I got this, I think for $35. I think they've raised the price a little bit now to $49. And I've had this for over a year and it's just now started to get empty. Retails originally for $185. But this is above and beyond. You don't need to do this. You really don't need to do this. It helps with like basically free radicals that are in the environment. And it helps with like protecting your skin effectively. It also brightens your skin. So if you have like dull skin tone, it's really good. I've read that niacinamide is really good for redness, but I don't use it because I don't really deal with redness. But I like this product. I use this in the morning. But I like radicals. How many drops do you use? It comes in like a little dropper thing. I use probably like a third of the dropper. Yeah, I use like a third. I maybe get it like barely any. And again, I've been using it for over a year now. And I still haven't run out. So it's really like, it's really cheap. For a skincare product, it's very, very cheap. And it definitely helped with dullness. Vitamin C has been a game changer, but you always forget the retinol, though. And you can never forget the retinol is the most important. If you take away anything from this, chat, if you take away absolutely anything, I'm sorry for being on the sunlock for so long. I just find it to be important. This. Wash your face, put this stuff on, and then use any moisturizer. Pond's has a really good cheap moisturizer. It's like $8 for a fucking giant jug that will last you your entire life and your entire grandchildren's lives. It's really, really cheap, and it's really good. For face washes, I can't really recommend a face wash. It kind of just depends on what your skin likes. I've heard a lot of people say they really like the CeraVe face washes. I still haven't found a face wash I like since mine got discontinued. But I've heard people really like CeraVe a lot, so you can try some of those. Just find one that feels good for you, that doesn't make you break out. Cetaphil I've heard is also really good. And then moisturizer. The moisturizer I use right after Tret is this one. Again, it's like literally go to any Walgreens. It's like $8. It's $8 for like the biggest, giantest tub. Here we go. This one's over the counter. So this, wash your face, wait 15 minutes for it to dry, put on like a pea size of this, which if you just go to a dermatologist and tell them tretinoin microsphere 0.04, give me that, they will give you it, and then put this shit on. And that's it, and you're good. And then you're solid. And if you feel like going a step above, I like this vitamin C. I like this one. Personally, I like this one. But you don't have to do that. That's not necessary. Anywho. It's like brushing your teeth, but for your skin. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, and always, always, always. I cannot stress this. Use sunscreen in the morning. Please. There's no reason, especially if you're white. Especially. Everyone should use it because everyone can get skin cancer, but especially if you're white, you should be using sunscreen. What SPF do you recommend? I really like this Trader Joe's one that I was gifted. It's really nice. I don't really have one, but any sunscreen. Just make sure it's full spectrum. As long as it's full spectrum, it'll work well. And it only needs to be 50 to be effective. I think 100 is like the super, 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 super effective, but it just needs to be 50. I think like 50 blocks like 98% or 97% of like harmful rays, and then SPF 100 blocks like 98 or 9. It's like 1 or 2 more percent. Is that the same as broad spectrum? I think it's the same as broad. Yeah. But Trader Joe's has this one sunscreen. You can use any sunscreen. It really doesn't matter. Any sunscreen. Just use one that you like the feel of it. I just like the Trader Joe's one. It's like not too tacky. It's good. I think the Trader Joe's sunscreen is a dupe. It's good. I like it. Anyways, diminishing returns. Yeah, it's negligible. But I've had an outside job for years now without using sunscreen. I'm already cooked, I fear. You're not cooked. I swear. Bro, you get on this shit, you're not cooked. No one is ever cooked. Never give in to doomerism. Never. Never, ever, ever give in. I'm telling you, you're never too cooked. I'm trying to see if I can find like a good image of what I mean. I don't have one on hand, but you're never too cooked. This shit will save you. It's only too late when you're dead. All right? You can rest when you're dead, man. All right? Anyways, don't fucking hit your face with a hammer, chat. Don't hit your face with a hammer. That's not necessary. It's really not necessary. You really don't need to do that. Just wash your face and use a retinol, man. You don't need to hit your face with a hammer. You don't need to get on meth. You don't need to take TRT. You don't need to do any of that shit. I'm sorry. 5 minutes a day. And that's good. And that's good. Oh, if you want to see like really crazy stuff, I think there's like a tretinoin subreddit. And it's like people post their befores and afters. This is one such example. Someone who just got on Tret and just moisturizes. Is this not crazy? This is 6 months, to be fair. Is this not kind of crazy? That's insane to me. That's from TRT. No, from tretinoin. From tretinoin. It's a retinol. No, from this product. This product. Also, they did get a summer tan. I mean, yeah, a little bit. I'm not talking about the tan. So cool. What if you have a beard? Do you try and massage it in? I don't know that information. I think you want to. At least anywhere where because your beard is probably providing some protection for you. So you probably don't need to get it deep into your beard. But anywhere where your hair is probably sparse, you should use it. Tretinoin weakened my girlfriend's skin. Maybe she didn't moisturize enough. Well, the other problem is a lot of people think that a higher percentage is better and it means it works better. But in reality, the higher percentages just mean that the product is more harsh. The higher percentage is not better. And also, really, you only need a pea size for your whole face. I know it's going to feel weird the first time you do it and you're like, this is not enough. It's enough. It's enough. In your opinion, beards more attractive on guys or clean shaven? I think it depends on the face. I think some people look better with beards. I think some people look about the same. I think some people look worse with beards. I think it depends on your beard, and I think it depends on your face. But anywho, that's all. I'm done with my soapbox. I'm just saying, this shit is cool. This shit's really cool. What if I have a big face? You know what they say about big faces? I don't know why I said that. It's not even funny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not even funny. One is enough. At most 1.5 P's. 1.5 pea size, okay, is all you need. You don't need more. More is just going to cause your fucking face to burn and peel off. And also, that's why the microsphere 0.04 is the best. If you go to get Tret and they give you just tretinoin, not microsphere, 0.1, your skin is going to burn and it's going to suck. And it's a worse product. It's more damaging than, like, not damaging than it is good, but it's like, it's more damaging than it needs to be. This one. This one is the one you should ask for. Trust me, I spent many hours researching this. Okay, I'm done. I'm done on my tangent. I'm done. What do you mean my face is gonna burn? Are you sure the hammers aren't better? No, you don't need to get hammers. You don't need hammers. You don't need fucking getting on TRT. You don't need to get on meth. You don't need to do that. Anything for hair? I don't have anything for hair. I'm sorry. I've heard people say finasteride and minoxidil. I don't know anything about hair. I'm like the worst person to ask about hair care. I literally just go to the fucking Walgreens and buy whatever's the cheapest shampoo and conditioner. It's like, oh, Herbal Essence is on sale. Great, I'm getting this. Oh, Dove is on sale. I'm getting this. I'm not the person to ask. Sorry, I don't know anything about hair care. What's the face moisturizer you recommended? This one. Are we sure you're not autistic? No, I just have a lot of things that I care a lot about. I have a lot of hyperfixations is all. This is one of them. Have you tried knocking your chin repeatedly with a small hammer? No. Anyways, okay, I'm done with my sunlock. I'm done with my sunlock. I'm done with my sunlock. I can't believe people listen to this. I can't believe... I feel bad for anyone who's watched any of this guy's content and started hitting themselves in the face with a fucking hammer. It's so funny, too, because actually this guy, I'm pretty sure he talks about how he was originally taking tretinoin, or he was taking he was using vitamin A, but he switched over to Accutane, because Accutane is orally vitamin A, which makes it more effective, but you get a lot more side effects. So it's not worth it. He just takes everything to the extreme. It's like, no, you don't need to do that. That's insane. You're a crazy person. I truly thought this guy was being sarcastic till today. Man, I feel a little bad, but it's so absurd that I also think it's a little funny. Unfortunately, same. Unfortunately, same. Oh my God. Sometimes when you make me listen to mold, I hit my face with a hammer, but that's different. That's real. That is real. You can microdose Accutane to have virtually no side effects. No. I don't recommend that. I don't suggest that. The people I know who've been on Accutane say that it fucking sucks. And the only people that really get prescribed Accutane are people who've tried everything else and it hasn't worked. And you have really bad cystic acne. We should microdose meth. No more microdosing. No microdosing, no meth, no hammers, no cinder blocks. No. Can we macrodose it? Now we're talking. Okay. Okay, now we're on that. Anyways, sorry I just spent the whole stream talking about skincare. It's a very special interest of mine. And I wish, I only talked about it because I wish somebody else had told me about this stuff. Because this stuff is it's so goated. And I was very you guys have to understand, I was a very big bum. I had lived the bum lifestyle of just wearing the same clothes all the time, never caring about anything about how I looked at all. And I will tell you, it's if you talk to people who've lost a lot of weight, you just get treated differently, right? And it's yeah, I'll do a little fun routine, a little habit, a little ritual at the end of my day that's 5 minutes that just makes my life better. Hell fucking yeah. Hell yeah. Still just one shirt though. Actually, that never changed. Still just one shirt though. That never changed. Because even if I don't judge people for how they look, other people do, and I can cope and seethe and mauled and bald as much as I want, but that's not going to change. That's just the world that I live in. So, you make do with what you can with the world. You can stare at your 2.7 all day. If you have a 2.7, you've got a 2.7. Do what you can with that. Check out girls at the supermarket, talk to me more and giggle. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Again, even if you are beyond that and you're above it and you don't care, it doesn't mean everybody else is that way. In fact, most people are not. And isn't life hard enough? Isn't life hard enough? I'm not talking about myself. I'm saying if you work a 9 to 5, isn't that hard enough? Isn't maintaining the fucking laundry and the dishes and family and partners and friends and animals and pets and basic cleaning and cooking and working, isn't life hard enough? Why not make life a little easier? Just a little. Why not? But anywho. And arc raiders. I got complimented by a cute girl over a cologne I spent time choosing, and I rode that high for a week. That's so cute. I'm so happy for you. The other thing too, with putting in very little effort, you get immediate payout. There are very few things that will help, that you can get immediate payouts on. And I do think skincare is one of them. It will make you feel better about you, which is the most important thing. You should never do anything that makes other people feel better, but doesn't make you feel better. And I will tell you, just having skin that just behaves, it will make you feel better. Having skin that isn't always red or dry or oily or acne, you'll just feel better. When you look in the morning, when you look at your face in the mirror or you look at photos of you, you're like, wow, I just kind of always look kind of nice. It makes you kind of happy. And other people around you will notice. They'll be like, wow, your skin looks really good. You do something. Same thing with clothes. Finding clothes that suit your body type or suit you or your style. Not only do you get a confidence boost, other people notice. Other people notice and they're like, hey, you look good. Nice outfit, man. And it feels good if that feels good. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm about the little things in life. Oh, it's such a weird photo seeing myself it's such a weird feeling seeing myself in a photo. I will say cameras are really weird and a lot of things that don't make, one of the things in life that doesn't make any sense is cameras. And I will tell you guys, before I started doing skincare, I hated how I looked in every photo. Felt like every photo I just had like this, I don't know how to describe it, like a gray tint. Besides all my acne scars, I just had like this grayish tint. And my eye bags were way worse. And I will say, it's so weird. Now when I take photos, my skin just always looks good. It's like, what the fuck? I just get, now all my photos, I get to just look better. What the fuck? For 5 minutes a day? And I'm a payout person. I will always do stuff. Do you have acne scar? I never see it. Well, the thing with Tret also that's really dope is it makes acne scars go away really fast. So I got like, you can't see it. It's basically gone. I got like 2 little pimples here and I'm really bad with picking and I destroyed the shit out of them. I fucked them the fuck up. And then I got like 2 little scars and after a week, they're gone. They're gone. I used to have like super bad scarring all over my cheeks and it's gone. So yeah, I have to say, really, I really love it. It's a great product. It just makes me feel better. Even without makeup? No, even without makeup. I wonder if I have a good photo. I think I do. I think I took one because I was like, whoa, holy shit. I was shook, which is, by the way, a great feeling to have. Okay, I think it's this one. Here we go. Let me send this over from my phone to my computer. And you guys will get to see. And I do have one. I think it was just after my shower. So my skin just looked particularly hydrated. This. Okay, last thing, and then actually we'll head off. For the girlies. Here? Okay. And there are no filters on this photo. There are no filters. And if you zoom in close enough, you can see. I get like blackheads that I personally notice. You could see them. But, and you can see here, this is when I got the scarring. This is when I was picking. Like a fool. Like a fool. I was picking at my skin. And they're gone now. They're gone now. But like, this is my skin. No makeup. No makeup, no filter, nothing. So like there are lots of little small things, but like how do you make blackheads go away? I don't know. I haven't figured that one out yet. I'll report in when I figure it out, but I don't know. So, and you can see like there's a lot of small little tiny things. But like you can see I have like some pimples from here. I just have really like, I think it's just my skin's really oily, so I'm really prone to acne. You can see tiny little things. And I can see my pores right here, especially. This is, we're nitpicking here. Like, I can see them here, or like for some reason, I have really bad pores here. But like, for no makeup and no filter, that's not bad. That's not bad. We'll take it. We'll take it. Hell yeah. Have you considered doing meth? No. No. So, I can't recommend it enough. Sorry. I can't. Maybe a dumb question. Any issues if you stop using Tret or at least not consistent? Oh, I'm not consistent. I think like once or twice a week, I'll forget to do my skincare. The thing is, once you just have to establish the first month of getting your skin used to it, like acclimating your skin. Once you acclimate your skin, you can miss it sometimes and that's okay. So you just be really good the first month, acclimate your skin, and then go for it. And then you're good. And then there are lots of times where I'll come home and I'm just so tired. And I know you're not supposed to do this. I'll sleep with my makeup. And then I wake up and I have like 3 pimples. And then you do skincare for 2 days and they're gone. So it's okay if you know, and as far as I understand, even if you just stop using it completely, your skin's just going to go back to what it was before. As a guy, what you said about skincare was right. I recently started to have a nightly face care routine. It makes me feel better. It just makes you, that's the best thing about skincare. It just makes you feel good about yourself. I don't believe in doing things that make you feel bad about yourself. Like if checking the scale makes you feel bad about yourself, don't check the scale. If it just makes you feel bad, don't do that. You know what always makes people feel good? Going for a walk or going for a swim or any type of cardio, getting on a bike for a little bit, just any type of cardio at all, just moving your body even a little bit. If you don't like walks at all, lift some weights. Even just like upper body. You don't want to move your legs or whatever, that's fine. Any type of physical exercise or physical movement will always make you feel good. I will never not recommend it. I will never not recommend going and moving your body because there's a natural positive loop there where you do the physical exercise, whatever it is. If it's 5 minutes of walking, 5 minutes of walking, 10, 20, 30 if you're brave, maybe going for a hike, maybe lifting weights, whatever it is for you. You get like immediate dopamine right back into your system. You get an immediate payout. You just feel, and then besides, there's also like the mental of like, oh, I did that. I feel good about myself. Hell yeah. So that's what I will say. That's what I will say. That is all I will say. You should do things, and I will always endorse doing things that will always make you feel good. And don't do things that, if it just makes you feel bad, it's stupid to do. But washing your face and putting on a cream is never going to make you feel bad. Oh, sorry, I spooked you. I spooked him. He was having a dream, and I might have accidentally woken him up. But anyways, guys,